Once again, those who have just joined, I apologize for the inconvenience. My connection is gone. I was doing the activity diagram and I'm just going to continue from where I left off. It is possible that you might see, just like the merge and decision being used together, it is possible that you can see an or fork or a join node being used together. Once again, this is a very, very, very rare thing. Like almost you never see it unless there's some complex stuff going on in the background. The final thing that the final official symbol that you can see in the activity diagram is the swim lanes, which are basically regions that divide these activities into sections. So you can see that which activity belongs to which section. Each swim lane must have a title showing which part of the system it is affecting. This is usually used to perfect the activity diagram, or rather, you're going to draw another diagram based on the activity diagram. So you want to, categorize the regions of each activity because you need them in another diagram. So that is why swim lanes are used, such as you can see in here. There are certain aspects that you want to deal, such as the customer, the sale, and so forth. And you want to categorize these to make them to see the interactions of which of these activities are taking place in which part, because you're going to generate perhaps a team for each of these categories to do these activities. So it is essentially needed for the next stage after the activity diagram is being drawn. And that is why you have swim lanes. Any questions about the activity diagram? Anything you did not understand and you would like me to repeat? It would be great if you talk and participate in this course rather than just staying there, or otherwise I'll start recording videos, put them on YouTube, and not even do this lecture synchronous, because if you're just gonna stand there and not participate, then why are we doing it live? I can just talk to a computer and record my voice and you can listen it, right? What's the purpose of doing this class synchronous? I don't understand. Can anyone explain me? Hello? Is anyone there hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Why are you not responding?
I'm a little bit down. Not feeling too good.
Guess what? You are not the only one.
Of course.
Right, I'm just going to finish this lecture because you know what? I am also very down, and your disinterest in this course making me really, really on the edge. Like, if you're going to act like this, I seriously going to record my voice and put it on YouTube and not even connect online. I'm going to do it, seriously. So you either become more active in this course. You either become more active in this course or I'm going to do it. Okay? I'm sorry, but I don't want to waste my time for people who do not appreciate it.
The class is still important. You misunderstand me. I'm not feeling too good today. Normally,
It's not only about that. Don't take it personal, but you are connecting every week and you're not doing anything, just sitting there. So what's the purpose? Like, if you're not going to discuss, if you're not going to participate, why are we doing this live? I don't understand. What's the purpose?
It's important because we need to have the class and make sure we hear from you straight.
Okay, I give you one more chance then. By next week, if you're gonna act like this, then I'm gonna make, if you still gonna be the same, just like what you are doing right now, I'm gonna make this an asynchronous section. Just record the videos in advance, put them there, and you can watch them. I don't want to do it live because Basically, you keep me away from doing what I'm supposed to do right now. I have other stuff that I want to do. I have a paper that I'm writing. I want to finish it. You understand my point? If you are not going to invest into me, I will not invest into you. This is how professional relationships work. You need to get that habit now because you're going to graduate. If you don't show that you appreciate someone is doing for you and you participate, by appreciate I mean participate and put into discussions, then I'm not going to do the same either. Look, the world is not a good state. I understand you can be down and we are all down, but you need to engross yourself with activities that can help you through the stage, right? A teacher is not there just for you, or a lecturer just for you to explain this stuff. You can simply read a book. The purpose here is to make live discussions, and if you are not going to do that, what's the point? Do you agree? Can anybody at least say yes or no?
Of course.
Then we need to make this more lively. Oh, so I'll give you one more go by next week, and if you're gonna act exactly in the same way, I will change my strategy. I will basically record the videos in advance, put them YouTube, and it's up to you if you want to watch them or not. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, good. There is an exercise here. Before I finish, I'd like to show you how you can approach an activity diagram, and perhaps you can know how to draw them, because you might need this information in the project that you're going to receive. So draw an activity diagram for a library system, which will initially start by scanning library card activity. The scan library activity would lead to a check account balance activity. At this point, the check account balance would decide whether or not there's an unpaid due or no paid overdue. And if the system finds that there is an unpaid overdue fee, this will lead to pay overdue fine. If not, then the user do not pay any fines. Regardless of the decision, the activities will merge and go to a scan asset activity, which then the system would reach to a final state. So how you can draw this? How do you understand it? Some of these stuff I already color coded that will help you to understand how to draw it. So I'm gonna make this screen as big as possible and open the Lucid Graph as well. And hopefully we will see how we can draw these activities together. So just making sure that this is there, I can see it. Oops. And coming in there, making this a little bit smaller so that I can see it. So I hope you can all see it. This is the software that I use for my drawings. It's called Lucid Graph, and you can see that I already managed to create an activity diagram there. So what I'm gonna do in here is that I'm gonna drag and drop a start. Using the start, you can now write what these systems actually, the symbols actually do. Maybe I should pull this a little bit further. Yes. And I'm gonna drag and drop a text next to it. And just say this is the initial state, because that's initially start. So I'm just gonna name it as initial state. So now that I defined the initial state, we have the next one, which is called the scan library card. This is an activity now, so I'm gonna drag and drop each activity as a rectangle and name it as the scan library card. So you can just go ahead and type it, scan library card. Now that this is done, you can basically show the data flow. So it's coming from there. Oops, this one, maybe I should send it to the back. So you can basically generate the data flow here. It's best if you basically connect them to the middle. So it looks better. There you go. So we have this scan library, and the next one is the check account balance. You can see it on here, is that it will lead to the check account balance. So you can drag and drop another one here. And this one will be check account balance. Now we have done it. If you read the rest, at this point, the check account balance will come to a decision. And that decision is whether or not there is overdue fee paid. So because it's a decision, you can put a gateway here. And basically with the gateway, you can decide what to do. We're coming into the gateway. We will basically decide a decision that is overdue fee paid. So we can go up, drag and drop, and type it down. Is overdue fee paid? As you can see, it's already there. The question is done. Now this will lead to different outcomes. If the system finds that there is an overdue, it will lead to pay overdue. If it doesn't, it will show unpaid overdue fee. So we go into a branch that you can basically show it now. We can zoom out a bit. So there are two options in here. Just gonna copy paste this. One option is that the unpaid overdue fee the other option is paid overdue fee. So if you read the paragraph, it actually tells you all about this. There are two branches which you can use, and you can basically go into two different directions. One that is unpaid, the other one that is paid, which will lead to pay overdue. So from there onwards, we can generate these outcomes. Just pulling this aside. And this one. So is overdue fee paid, unpaid overdue, and paid overdue. And each one leads to another activity. Like if it is unpaid, it will go to the pay the unpaid. And if it's nothing, then it will say do not pay fines. So we're gonna basically copy activities underneath this.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
You said initially that the activities have to be like a verb. So now, are you not duplicating the result as an activity, the result of the condition in this state?
I can. I just put a check at the beginning.
Yes, I mean, after the check, are we coming to an activity after
Yes.
the result?
The question is organized in that way. As you can see, it says that if the overdue P is, you have to decide whether there is an overdue P or not. So check the unpaid in order to pay it, and check the paid overdue fee just to state that you don't have anything to pay.
Okay, now I understand.
Okay, message, no pay is needed. Does it make sense now? So you are making a check process just to show this one. So this will go into a yes or no branch. So you can put it on here as well if you like to. So this is over 2 fee paid. This is no. And this is yes. You are right that I forgot to put the verb, but basically I can do that just by saying check and check again. All right, does that clarify the situation?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, cool. So now that we have done this, I'm just gonna merge them. So the next one will says that regardless of the situation, the activities will merge. As you can see in here, it says that it will merge and go to a scan. Like you can again use a gateway here, exactly in the same way. And this time, regardless of the situation, they will come to the same spot. And once again, it will go to another activity, which we can drag and drop in here. And this activity is called, just let me take it a little bit up. This activity is called scan asset activity. I'm just going to type scan asset and merge it as well. So now that this is done, there is a final state. You can drag and drop the final state here and finish the activity diagram. So that is basically the answer of the first exercise. You can see it in here being drawn. Of course, you can make, you can put colors in it should you want to. Make it more fancy looking. Like this one, let me just make it blue. These ones as well. Oops. All of them are blue now. And the symbol for merge and also decision, I'm gonna make them green. So this can be more visible now that we see. There's the initial phase, which we started. Then the scan check state, it goes into a yes or no branch. And then it comes to the scan asset, which is basically the answer for the first exercise. You don't have to use Lucid Graph. You can use others should you want to. And there are more exercises here. I want you to solve these exercises to practice activity diagram, okay? And should you show any interest, I might reveal the results for them. Before I end up my lecture today, it's been 1.5 hours. Do you have any questions to ask me about activity diagrams, about how you draw the graph, how you understand it? Is there any problem? Okay, then I'm gonna end up the lecture. If you don't have any questions, next week we're gonna meet and continue with more graphs. I intend to finish this chapter as fast as possible so that I can give you the second assignment. Since you don't have any questions, I'm gonna stop in here and I'll see you guys next week, okay? Take good care, thanks for attending, and I'll see you guys later on. Have a nice week.